Randolph Carter is H.P. Lovecraft's most transparent alter ego. Unlike other protagonists of his work, who exist solely to witness horror and go mad, Carter appears in 5 stories to embark on a deeply personal journey, such as The Dream Quest of Unknown, Kadath, and The Silver Key, to hunt for a lost sense of wonder and escape a modern world he mostly despised. The physical and psychological similarities between creator and character are unmistakable. Carter is a single antiquarian from an old New England family who lives between Boston and Providence. Deeply attached to 18th century history, he is a melancholic dreamer who feels out of place in the noisy, industrialized 20th century. Lovecraft saw himself in the same anachronistic way, a gentleman born in the wrong era. In The Silver Key, Carter loses the ability to dream and attempts to write conventional fiction to fit into society, finding it grotesque and hollow. This mirrors Lovecraft's periods of deep depression and his struggle to write commercial literature without betraying his authentic vision of the weird. For Lovecraft, sleep was not a state of unconsciousness, but a genuine means of escape from planet Earth, the horror it inhabited in, and the primary source of his mythology, fueled since childhood by vivid nightmares. In his dream cycle, the dreamlands represent absolute beauty, an antidote to the cold and indifferent cosmic materialism that, according to him, governed reality. The climax of Carter's quest redefines the concept of triumph. After facing alien monsters and the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep, Carter discovers that the magnificent city of the Golden Dawn he sought is not a mystical realm built by the gods. It is a manifestation of his own past, the spires of Providence, the golden light over the hills of New England, and the innocent wonder of youth. Nyarlathotep mocks him by revealing that the gods themselves abandoned their thrones because they preferred Carter's dreams, created from his earthly memories, for knowing that his city of marble and gold is but the sum of what he has seen and loved in his youth. It is the glory of sunset on the rooftops of old Providence, and the magic of twilight, the greatest of treasures. Through this revelation, Lovecraft comes to understand that ultimate escape and absolute beauty do not lie in distant dimensions, but in a nostalgic love for local landscapes and memory. By having Carter wake up safe in his Boston room, gazing at the morning light, he reconciles his cosmic longing with his deep-seated provincialism, and his gravestone reads, "I am Providence." The human imagination is a power so profound that even the gods of Kadath covet it. The 3 stages of Carter's destiny unravel to achieve his dreams, beyond the conventional end. As he grows older and succumbs to the pressures of adulthood, Carter loses access to the dreamlands. Determined to reject adulthood and the gray 20th century, he finds a silver key in his ancestral attic that unlocks a portal to the hills of his childhood. His victory is literal and bittersweet. He travels back in time to the year 1883 to become a 9-year-old boy once again. For Lovecraft, whose childhood before his grandfather's death was the only happy time of his life, this represented the ultimate fantasy and desire. Carter goes further and crosses the void, where he encounters beings such as Umr at-Tawil, the eldest, a guardian of the gate. He is described as a presence shrouded in a cloak or a vaguely human silhouette, but of colossal size, flanked by strange cloaked figures performing a rhythmic dance, and Yog-Sothoth, a sage deity that exists simultaneously in the past, present, and future. He knows and sees everything because for him, time is not a moving line, but a static plane where everything happens at once. After passing through the last gate guided by Umr at-Tawil, Carter sheds his three-dimensional limitations and comes face to face with the supreme entity of the mythos. Instead of being annihilated, he undergoes an evolution. He learns that Randolph Carter is merely a temporary mask of a multifaceted, multidimensional entity. By merging with this reality, he gains absolute freedom from human limitations. He is no longer bound to a single body or the narrow confines of a mortal brain. This victory is bittersweet. In the story, to fully inhabit one's dreams, one must renounce the waking world. On the other hand, in life, if a person completely turns his back on the waking world to chase the dream usually collapses. In reality, the dreams, whether the literal ones that manifest at sleep, or the deepest ambitions and creative visions, are entirely built from the raw material of waking life. This could be considered as a paradox of Lovecraft's way of thinking, or a contradiction, where the phrase rings truth is in the idea of immersion. To fully inhabit a vision, a creative project, or a grand ambition, there is always a phase where you have to silence the background noise of everyday reality. It's less about renouncing the waking world and more about sacrificing the trivial to protect the essential. The constant distraction by the immediate surface level demands of daily life can never dive deep enough into the mind to bring something truly monumental to life. Great art and deep philosophy require a temporary exile from the worldly, mundane. Ultimately, the goal isn't to choose one world over the other. The real mastery lies in being a bridge between them, diving deep into the dark, expansive world of your thoughts and dreams that can be a universe itself, but always returning to the waking world with the strength to carve those visions into reality. It's a brutal, delicate balance, one that Howard didn't took moderately. The textures, the languages we speak, the people we love, and the conflicts we face are the fuel for our imagination. Without the grounding resistance of the waking world, the dream world eventually runs out of substance. It becomes an echo chamber. In dream research, onirology, the prevailing scientific model is known as the continuity hypothesis, originally pioneered by researchers like Calvin Hall and heavily studied by contemporary scientists like Dr. Michael Schroeder. This hypothesis states that the content of our dreams is a direct, continuous reflection of our waking concerns, thoughts, and emotional experiences. In neurobiology, REM sleep, rapid eye movement, term created by American Dr. William Charles Dement, consists of sleep as an active restorative phase of the sleep cycle, characterized by rapid darting eye movements, increased brain activity, vivid dreaming, and temporary muscle paralysis. That it typically occurs for 20% to 25% of total adult sleep time and is crucial for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. The brain exhibits high frontal theta oscillations, 5 to 7 Hz. Neuroimaging shows that these are the exact same brain waves responsible for encoding episodic memories while human beings are awake. Statistical content analysis of thousands of dream desires shows that the bread and butter of dreams consists of mundane, daily social interactions and real-life anxieties. Studies show that the emotional intensity of a waking event, not whether it was possible or negative, is the primary predictor of whether it will be incorporated into your dreams over the next 1 to 7 days, known as the day residue and dream lag effects. What I'm trying to say is that science suggests that the most profound state of being isn't isolation in either realm, but rather a high bandwidth connection between the two. The waking mind feeds the sleeping mind. The imagining brain fuels the executing brain. At the end of the cycle, Carter's human body has vanished. His possessions are being divided up by lawyers who believe him dead, and his mind ends up trapped in a body of an insectoid creature on the distant planet Yadith, fulfilling his dreams but requiring total detachment from reality. This adventure resonates deeply at certain turning points in life, such as the one I'm going through now. I was born in the year 2000. The last 2 digits of that year always show my age. That is why I tend to say that I go with the years. This July 2026, I will graduate from a degree in modern languages at Universidad Metropolitana. A dream can be anything, even money, because it brings security, and for the human mind, a lack of resources translates into a threat to survival. So currency acts as a buffer against uncertainty, knowing you can cover medical emergencies, pay rent, or cope with unexpected expenses generates profound peace of mind. In this sense, it is actually a dream of stability and tranquility. The brain associates material possessions or luxury experiences with dopamine, the neurotransmitter of what we call pleasure. People get their hopes up to money because it has the power to unlock emotional well-being and self-realization in our societies, giving us control over our welfare. Although many believe it's a terrible force that moves the world and disfigures what life should be, is there a way to organize human coexistence without the use of currency? I personally don't believe so, but it's a complex question worthy of study. Graduation is often celebrated as a step forward, a launch into adult responsibility and the vastness of the world. However, beneath the noise of this event, this academic milestone carries an unsettling undercurrent. It confronts us with the passage of time and the definitive end of youth. The fear that the real world means trading wonder for rigidity, exchanging unlimited potential for predictable conventions, is the graduate's hidden anxiety. As Lovecraft wrote about this transition, in this liminal space, Carter's Odyssey, it teaches us that the grand ambitions we nurture and the idealized futures we pursue are rarely entirely new inventions. They are extensions of values, security, and joy we experienced when the world was small and full of wonder. Our cities of twilight are anchored in the foundations of our early years. The reality that awaits us outside may seem cold, mechanized, and indifferent, like the cosmos itself. But Lovecraft's literature, whose success was ironically inherited and managed by August Derleth after his death, reminds us that human imagination and identity are an impregnable refuge. Howard didn't graduate at university though. Leaving a chapter behind does not mean destroying it, just as Carter did upon waking. Perhaps these dreams will exist even after my death and transcend like Lovecraft's creation, but the memories, nonetheless, of where we came from are the blueprints with which we will build our future, and hopefully a shining one like Kadath in all its splendor.